Hi, my name is Shanae Fogel, and today I will be doing my Psychology 219 project interview on my subject.
Andre McCray.
Hello, Andre. The first session will basically be about your family, your upbringing, and your childhood memories. So let's get started. First is family. I would like to know, what do you know about your family roots?
What do I know about my family roots? Not too much. I was born in Georgetown, South Carolina. Um, Little town. Good. I couldn't tell you the population. That is maybe 45 minutes away from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, but the same direction, 45 minutes from Charleston, South Carolina. Family. Um, Family can come from a family of my mom and dad, Alice McCray and Richard Ford.
Um,
I forgot my dad's last name. I did.
Fine. What do you remember about your grandparents?
I do not remember my grandparents. I was too young. They both passed away from both sides while I was not here.
You were you weren't born yet?
No, I was not born
Okay. What stories have you heard about them?
here. Growing up, to tell you the truth, I really didn't hear much. From what I do know, my mom was, because she was adopted at an early age, and she didn't know her parents. I know that they said this lady, um, Grandma Ethel, raised her. No real connection with Grandma Ethel because she passed away before I got younger, so I really never asked my mom about any stories or, you know, anything doing like, marches or anything like that doing coming up in South Carolina. So
Um, okay. Sounds interesting. What was your mother like?
what is my mother like?
What was she about like? What was she like?
My mother still up.
What was she like when you were growing up?
Growing up, loving, caring, single. She raised 11 kids on her own. I am the youngest out of the all 11. Um, Always worked two jobs. Always was food on the table. Anytime I needed her, she was there.
Now, to make it more interesting, whenever you were bad,
Oh yeah, I got punished. Punished to the point of whoopings. I'm call it like we call it down in South Carolina. It was whoopings. There was no spear the rod, spoil the child. And I do something bad, I got a butt whoop. I didn't. It does not make me or break me. It actually, not to say make me or break me, but it made me who I am today.
what did she tell you about her childhood?
Growing up, from my mom, she was raised in the South. Um, this was doing segregation. Blacks to one bathroom, whites to the other. Grew up hard. Grew up with, you know, I guess where the cotton fields and the corn fields. Grew up on the farm. Um, Growing up younger, very different than my mom. She liked baseball cards and comic books and um, I guess like collector's item. No, I did not grow up like that at all. My mom, um, like I said, born and raised in South Carolina, been there her whole life. Only been to like North Carolina. Um, Her childhood was nothing bad. I do know that she was adopted younger, raised around family and friends. She has um, two brothers, one sister. Sister is previously predeceased. Um, she just loved life and ran around and worked everywhere and installed that, working gets you where you should be.
Now, I noticed that you said that she grew up hard. What do you mean? Do you care to explain?
Um, no real details ever from my mom. Just everything was hard. Just during segregation time.
Okay.
Um, During that time, with Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, even before then with Medgar Allen. Um, just during in the South Carolina, during the 50s, 60s, 40s, even 70s, growing up, everything was hard. Everything was, whites one way, blacks another way. Um, you know, Everything. I'm not gonna hold no bars. It's just wherever you go down south, we call them rednecks. Rednecks, country boys. Some of them were mannered. Some of them were ill mannered.
And you also stated that she was easygoing. What do you mean by that?
Easygoing.
Yeah, like
Um,
carefree.
Very. I don't know. Took every. There was never no gray to her life. It was never black and white. It was always sunshine. It was always you look on the brighter side of life. You don't look at the bad stuff. The bad stuff is only there as a trial, and once you pass that trial, you move on to your glory basically, and that's the way that she raised us. She raised us in the church, and you know none of us strayed from that. It's just we just kept pushing. She kept us to say there's something else over that hump that you're going through, and she always look at life as I was presented my life. I'm going to live my life. I don't look at the Huxtables as the way to live. This is what God gave me. This is what God gave me to give to you, and this is why we're going to laugh about the situation before we cry about it.
And you said that she liked to collect baseball cards, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Um, but what did you like to do with her?
What do I like to do with her? Growing up with my mom, things I like to do is, I guess she's the person that I learned everything from. Um, the most things that we've done together is go to church, cooking around the house, cleaning, laughing. That's where I will get my humor from. I laugh at every situation I see. We can be walking to the store, somebody falls, we laugh. Just everything that we've done together was always evolved. Going to family functions, school functions, church functions. We were very, not to say religious, but yeah, religious, and we believed in, going to church every Sunday. And when there's a program during the week, we'll be attending those programs, even if we have to bring books and stuff. So all of our functions and doing things together revolved around church and home.
Okay. Um, would you like to answer the same type of questions for your father?
With my father, I did not know too much about. I know him, but I don't know him. I know him from coming around, sometimes doing Christmas, sometimes doing birthdays. No real relationship, and even as I got older, no real relationship. I'd never bothered to be part of that lifestyle, and that's just my personal, how would I say, my personal, that's just the way I feel personally about that situation in my life. I just never pursued a relationship to a point where I understood everything that was going on in my life. I knew him, he knew me. I was alive, he's alive.
Okay. And I can assume by the way you talk about your mother so highly that you are closer to her and that you admire her the most, correct?
Definitely.
Um, and did you have any brothers and sisters? And if
Um,
so, how many?
I have 10 brothers and sisters. I have 3 brothers, 6 sisters, 11 of us all together.
Okay. Um, what was your relationship with them?
Very close family. Did basically everything. Like I said, my mom grew us up all like, the oldest raised the youngest. Mom is at work. When we get old enough, we venture out on our own. Still call each other to this day. Text each other. Um, Gotten better as technology has grown, where you can keep in contact with no matter where they're at. Um, I love them. They love me. Very, very close, no matter what part of the world that we're in.
Um, did your mother have different ideas for boys and the girls? Like, say, for example, you could date at age 16 and they couldn't date till they were 18, or.
For my family, the way that we were raised was we are all equal. There was no big difference in placing you know, a certain
Standard.
standard. For us, everything was based around the church. Well, girls we used to wear skirts on Sundays, and boys used to go to church in suits. Well, not really suits, but pants. Our biggest thing was to raise um, like she didn't raise us like a girl follows her husband. I'm supposed to go out, cook dinner, all of this. She raised us to, be independent, be loving, be caring, reach out for the next person. Um,
Um,